Look, if you're a freelancer who's just exhausted from trading your time for money, or maybe you're a professional wanting to build a real sellable asset, welcome to this explainer. Building an agency? Yeah, it's absolutely harder than running a passive content model, but the revenue ceiling is just dramatically higher. The core economic reality of 2026 is this: AI tools costing a mere $150 to $400 a month are actively replacing $4,000 to $8,000 monthly production salaries. That massive margin is exactly why AI agencies can undercut traditional agencies on price, all while pocketing 70 to 85% profit margins. Today, we are breaking down a complete 16-step system to build a scalable AI agency that can realistically reach $20,000 to $80,000 a month. We're going to show you exactly how this scales into a sellable asset worth $500,000 to over $2 million.
So here's our precise blueprint for today. We're going to cover the AI economic arbitrage, positioning and premium packaging, systems and lead generation, client retention and growth, scaling and agency exit, and finally, the complete AI playbook.
All right, part 1, the AI economic arbitrage, the math behind the margins. Understanding this is the foundation of everything that follows.
Here is the mind-blowing reality of AI production costs right now. A tiny monthly software stack, we're talking literally just $150 to $400 a month, actually replaces a $4,000 to $8,000 monthly employee salary. I mean, you are literally paying pennies on the dollar for the exact same production output.
Because you have this massive production advantage, you can actively undercut traditional agencies on price, all while earning 70 to 85% profit margins on retainers that clients are just happy to pay for. But what are you actually building here? Well, you're building a defined service offering with 3-tier pricing. You're building a highly systemized machine featuring automated client onboarding from inquiry to signed contract in just 48 hours. And you're setting up strict standard operating procedures that let a $15 an hour virtual assistant pump out work that matches your $200 an hour expertise. Add in a robust cold outreach system and a zero-pressure discovery call framework, and boom, you have a lean 2 to 3 person AI agency completely outperforming a traditional agency 10 times its size. You're building a machine that runs without the founder.
Moving on to part 2, positioning and premium packaging. Ditch the hourly rate. This is where we stop acting like chaotic freelancers and start acting like a real agency. Okay, the absolutely crucial point here is that you must niche down to one specific service for one specific client type. Look at it this way. A SaaS company is always going to pick the agency that exclusively builds AI content for SaaS over some generalist agency that does everything for everyone. When you specialize, you become the obvious best choice. Oh, and a quick tip for your minimum viable presence: you really do not need a fancy $10,000 website to close your first client. You just need a crystal clear offer. Let's break down what those high-margin AI services actually look like. We're talking AI content systems for B2B SaaS yielding $3,000 to $10,000 a month at a crazy 85% margin. Or chatbot build-outs for e-commerce. That's $2,000 to $8,000 per build. Even back-end automation for law firms and clinics can yield a sweet $1,500 to $5,000 setup fee. The trick? You package these into 3 outcome-focused tiers. Doing this entirely kills the hourly quote. Clients stop asking, should I hire them, and start asking, okay, which package is right for me? Part 3, systems and lead generation, building the machine. Let's talk about how you automate your delivery and fill your pipeline with high-quality leads.
You want to project extreme professionalism from minute 1, right? This automated onboarding flow takes a prospect from an initial intake form on Typeform straight to booking a call on Calendly, getting a PandaDoc proposal, and paying via Stripe, all in just 48 hours. Now, why is that 48-hour window so critical? Because it completely wipes out buyer's remorse. It establishes you as a dialed-in, systemized operator, not some freelancer winging it. It builds massive trust before the actual work even begins.
Once that client is signed, your delivery relies on this exact tech stack. By combining your onboarding with strict standard operating procedures, or SOPs, and this specific AI toolset, you essentially become replaceable, but in the best way possible. A $15 an hour virtual assistant can output work matching your premium expertise because the tools are doing the heavy lifting. Think about it. Claude and Surfer SEO completely replace the content writer. VoiceFlow and Make replace the chatbot developer. Midjourney and Ad Creative replace the graphic designer. You are managing the system, not grinding through individual tasks. Now, to actually get those clients, you only really need 2 channels that consistently work: First, go heavy on targeted cold outreach, stuff like LinkedIn DMs and cold emails via Apollo or Instantly. That's going to generate revenue within your first few weeks. At the same time, you're building your authority content channel. Post daily authority content on LinkedIn. Pair it with weekly long-form articles. And that's how you build a compounding inbound pipeline for the long haul.
When those leads finally book a call, you use the Discovery Call framework. This is a 45-minute diagnostic conversation where you diagnose the exact cost of their problem and, this is key, pitch absolutely nothing. Seriously, you never discuss pricing until they confirm the problem is actually worth solving. When you anchor your price against the actual dollar cost of their problem, you unlock a 60% plus close rate. Once they verbally agree to the cost of their problem, your structured proposal just documents the solution, making the close virtually frictionless.
All right, part 4, client retention and growth. Keeping your revenue. Landing clients is great, but keeping them is where the real wealth is built.
Listen, keeping clients is 5 to 7 times cheaper than finding new ones. You do this through a 4-layer architecture. First, flawless results delivery. Second, proactive communication. Think weekly 2-minute async Loom updates. Third, automated monthly reporting via Databox. And fourth, strategic expansion every 90 days. This expansion phase is where pricing psychology really kicks in. You don't just arbitrarily raise your rates. You increase your retainer by pitching new AI solutions that have only become apparent after solving their initial bottlenecks. This framework right here is what turns one-time projects into multi-year retainers.
And when you do get those killer results, you process them straight through this 4-step case study engine. You clearly outline their specific problem, the AI solution you built, the measurable result achieved within a timeline, and you cap it off with a direct client quote. Distributing this generates a constant stream of pre-sold, inbound leads. It is a beautiful cyclical advantage. One client success directly funds the acquisition of the next.
Part 5, scaling and agency exit. Maximizing valuation. At $10,000 a month, your biggest bottleneck is time. So, let's look at your roadmap.
You absolutely must hire in this exact sequence. First, bring on a production VA when you hit $8,000 to $10,000 in revenue. Then an outreach specialist. Next, an account manager, and finally, an operations manager. This exact sequence frees you up for high-leverage sales and strategy, meaning you can run the entire agency with just 2 or 3 core people. At this stage, you can also start introducing white label revenue, partnering up with traditional agencies to fulfill their AI needs behind the scenes. It's a highly lucrative scaling strategy.
Now the ultimate payoff of this entire system, the exit multiple. A well-documented AI agency is a highly sellable asset valued at 2 to 4 times its annual revenue. To put that into perspective, an agency generating $15K a month can be worth between $360,000 and over $700,000. And a $50K a month agency, that can sell for over $2.4 million. You aren't just earning monthly cash flow here, guys. You are building massive equity. But to safely reach that multi-million-dollar exit, you've got to avoid some specific failure modes. Don't be a generalist without a niche. Don't underprice your packages below that $3,000 minimum. And please, do not refuse to delegate via SOPs. Also, watch out for client concentration. Never, ever let one client represent more than 25% of your total revenue. And finally, avoid the owner identity trap. If you build a business that relies entirely on your face and name, it becomes incredibly difficult to sell. Part 6, the complete AI playbook, your next steps. Let's bring all this operational detail together so you know exactly where to start. Let's recap the reality here. By following this architecture, you are looking at a realistic path to between $20,000 and $80,000 a month at scale. Because of the massive leverage you get from AI tools, you're enjoying 70 to 85% profit margins. You literally only need 2 or 3 people to run the whole shebang. And if you execute this system, you can land your first premium client in under 30 days. The AI Freelancing Agency is actually Playbook 3 of 10 in the Income Systems AI series. You can grab the complete detailed playbook for just $19 Canadian at incomesystemsai.gumroad.com. Or, if you want the whole picture, you can grab the full 10 playbook bundle for $97. Honestly, it pairs perfectly with their lo-fi YouTube and affiliate blogging playbooks if you're looking to combine an agency model with passive content income. So the crucial question I want to leave you with today is this. Are you going to stay stuck on the freelance hamster wheel, manually trading your limited hours for dollars? Or are you ready to step up as an operator, leverage these AI tools, and build a systemized freedom business that scales entirely without you?
The economic window for this arbitrage is wide open right now, but the execution, well, that's entirely up to you.